मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Om. Join me. May Brahman protect us both, the teacher and the student, equal. May he enable us to share the benefit of the learning equally. May we be equally strong to grasp the meaning of the learning. May the learning be equally fruitful to us. May we never be jealous of each other. Peace for peace for the environment, peace for the animal world. Now we have not read the Gospel only. This Kathopanishad is quite a time. Now we are in the second chapter of the first part. The first part was the questioning and first meeting with the teacher. Nachiketa put this question that this is a serious question. Even the gods and angels are scared to put any question about this. So he was excited to ask the question, but the teacher says, no, no, no. You better have all these worldly things and be happy with them. Why do you put this serious question? Now we find that the student is very capable student, because the power of discrimination and to understand what is permanent, what is impermanent, and what it really means, what he wants. This is the characteristic of a student, that very determined to know the truth. Any type of temptation, any type of speaking in a way which we can digress the person, we cannot succeed in that way. So that strong, determined mind will ultimately ask that question, that even if the gods are very doubtful about this question, 29th verse on page 45 or 46 you can say. So if the gods even debate on this issue of whether there is life after death, eternity is there or not, so Vichikitsanti mrittu, and you are the person standing before me, in the threshold, standing in the threshold of life and death, understanding all these things. So you ayam baro, give me that boon which is gudham manupravishta. That is the highest bar I understand, the boon, the truth which is gudham anupravishta. Gudha means deeply, anupravishta, entered into the objects of the universe. That means as if behind this duality, that eternal substance which is everywhere, tell me, teach me about that. So that was the end of the first chapter, part 1, chapter 1. Now part 1, another chapter is started with this. So the very first verse we read, let us chant it again, just to be acquainted with it. Anyat sreyo anyat utaiva preya te uhe nanartha purushagum sinita tayo sreya adadanasya sadhu bhavati hiyati arthadiya u preyo prinite. If you have the books, then you can be little louder. I can read another time. Anyat sreya anyad utaiva preya. Then you say anyat sreyo anyad utaiva preya te ubhe nanartham purushagam sinite te ubhe nanarthe Purushagum Sinitaha Sinitaha Tayo Sreya Adadanasya Sadhu Bhavati Tayo Shreya Adadanasya Sadhu Bhavati Hiyate Arthadiyau Preyo Brinite Hiyate Arthadiyau Preyo Brinite. So it is very important thing that in everyone's life, I cannot see the faces of some of the devotees. Why not move little right and left? Or you move little one step in the front? I think that may. No, no, no. Why are you moving there? But you can block three people now.
Now I can see you.
Now you can see three people block. Anyhow, good. But you now see how people. I'll have to then sit in a chair. I think that may be the way. Instead of troubling you, it makes a difference when I see the eyes and when I don't see. It makes a big difference. Okay, next time we'll have table. That will be easy for me to see all the faces. Okay, so this is very important theory that in our life, two things approach in our life. What is ultimate good? What is immediate, pleasurable, enchanting. So these two things appear in everyone's life. But they are two different. One leads to the path of eternal good. Another leads us to temptation and what you call the path of ignorance more and more. Instant joy, instant likingness. I like this. How many things we like that in our life? Still now I think this is good. I like it. And I hold on to that. And that goes on and on and on. So this is a wrong choice. That is called the priya, technical term. Shreya, which is ultimate good. Priya, which is immediately pleasurable. It's pleasing. And I am happy with it. I like it. And our life actually runs around this priya all the time, which is instant, which is immediate. We want to be happy at least that moment and never thinking that it will change and tomorrow I'll be hankering for something else. So that's why Unnat Sreya, Unnat Priya. One Sreya is different and Priya is different. You have to understand this because it comes in everyone's life. No? Te uve nanarthe purushagam sinita. That in the nana, in different ways, it comes to a person and sinita means it binds us. Freedom, it can lead to freedom and it can lead to bondage. So those two things approach in our life, but it becomes the question of our choice, what we want, what we liked. So Toyo Shreya, out of these two, Shreya, which is not immediate, Adodanasya, if one accepts, if any one of us accept that, the sadhu bhavati. He becomes great, he becomes holy, because he unfolds the divinity within. And hiyate arthat yayu prayobiniti. Those he who chooses that which is not good, the pleasant, that the prayo means pleasant, immediate, that misses the purpose of life. Our whole life is constantly a choice from one to the other, to the this present thing, this liking, I like. And there is no end of it, because diverse is the world and diverse are these experiences. So that we have read. Now, 49th page, let us read the verse number 2, where we start today. I will first chant one time and you also pay attention, because if you do this, you can do it at your home And it will be very good to chant Kathopanishad in your own way. No? Shreyascha preyascha manushyametaha. Shreyascha preyascha manushyametaha. Tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. Tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. Shreyo hi dhiro vi preyasho vrinite. Shreyo hi dhiro vi preyasho vrinite. Preyo mando yuga kshemad vrinite. Preyo mando yuga kshemad vrinite. So, sreyascha preyascha, sreya, that which is good, that which is spiritually enlightening, and prayer, that which is pleasant, manusham eto to, this sreya and prayer is manusham, is a person, eto, they come together, no? In life it comes. Choice is always there. Which direction we want to go. So, when it comes dhira, it comes to human being. In every life it comes. But those who are dhira, dhira means whose mind is stable, who are conscientious of their goal of life. Dhira, wise people, intelligent people who are really know what is to be achieved and running after these false things which has no permanent entity will ultimately make me frustrated. If that type of understanding, that is called dhira. The dhira vyakti, dhira wise man. So between those two, samparitya means it's examining it very closely, watching what is to be very intimately putting into analysis and understanding. What they do, vivinakti, it separates out. It comes in close touch, no? Normally we don't make a good choice. Sometimes we say, oh, I made a bad choice afterwards. No? In everyone's life we say, oh, I did a bad choice that time. Why bad choice comes? There is the major point is that there's 2 points. We have not samparitya, we have not examined the material, examined what is approaching, and then separate out what is good and what is bad. First observe and then separate out. Viveka, vairagya. You see, you have read in what you call Vedanta Sara and other texts, no? Viveka and vairagya. Viveka is analyzing with eye, and then you analyze what is good and what is not good, what is spiritually uplifting, what is not, what is beneficial, what is not beneficial, and then you have to throw away something. Like a poison, it is not good for me. I have determined. This I have analyzed. See what happens if we throw away something without analyzing. Afterwards you think that, why I go give away. Sometimes people throw away some things out of renunciation. No, I am now giving away everything of my house. I will, why do you give away? You may need it afterwards. You can give away any time. But before giving away, analyze how much you need, keep it. And when you're really convinced that no more need, okay, you can give away. But you have to beg for that. And really, that is not a good choice. So analyze first. If you feel that it is not helping in your spiritual life, if you think that it is not that you crave for, is not your destination or not your goal of life, then don't run for that. Have courage to say no to that. So that is called the vairagya. Vairagya is viveka vairagya. Vivek vairagya answers the first 2 questions. Then you have to acquire 6 treasures. Sataka sampatti, And then is the mumukshutva, desire to for liberation. See, all the categories, subtle way, this verse is giving us the idea. Very category is first saying samparitta. Samparitta means you observe not superficially. See the thing which approaches you. Is it close observation and concentrated observation, and after that analyze it and distinguish is what is good and what is not good for me. If you think it is good, go for this. Then you will be bold. You will not repent afterwards. You may say that I have made a very knowledgeable choice. Not that I emotionally didn't understand and I did sorry. Not that. Do it. If you have the need, the experience, go for that and finish that. But this separation and rejection, the power to reject or to renounce must have to be practiced in life. Otherwise, mere analysis does not mean anything. So this is dhira. So prayasa, from the present, after doing this, from the prayas, which is immediate or present, dhiraha, wise people, they do only they sreyahi obhibrinute. They prefer that I understand. This may make me rich, this may make me happy for a period of time, but it cannot give me permanent peace, permanent happiness, eternal joy. It is not possible. So, analyzing that, obhibrinute, he prefers mandaha, the short-sighted otherwise, the dhira, who are intelligent people, they will select what is permanent. Those who are alpa buddhi, they have intelligence but not that developed, they will wrongly choose the thing and then will repent afterwards. And of course, nothing in spiritual life goes wrong because it is always moving towards the ultimate realization through different experiences, ups and downs. Like a sine curve, as I say, people, those who are experiencing life, they are much better than those who think, oh, why did I give up? I should go back to that life. Many people go back to the life. No. What he has given up or she has given up again goes back, thinking always the other shore of the river is always greener. So this should not be there. Rather you analyze, check it, analyze it. So it is a process of, actually that is the Vedantic process. Not to believe bluntly anything, not to accept anything, but you should be satisfied. You put your experience, put your understanding and separate out. So, Sreyo hi dhiro obhi preyoso briniti. Dhiro, those who are wise people, they absorb this Sreya, that is absolute good, over preyoso, over the immediate pleasant things. They, even if they come in their life, they have the power to reject them. And but prayer, there are millions of people who will go for prayer, immediate fun, immediate joy, immediate some experience of excitement. That is mando, that is dull-witted people, dull brain will accept that. Yoga kshema adniti. They accepted yoga and ksema. Yoga, yoga means what? You need something to collect those things. That is called yoga. And kshema, what you have, try to preserve that. So anything collecting from the world and anything which is worldly to prevent and preserve, both are foolishness ultimately, because nothing will stay, nothing will remain, nothing will go with me. So analysis should be done. That does not mean that we shall just be in the street. No, not that. But the attachment should not be there. Attachment should be for the permanent good, spiritual, uplifting, that takes us to the divine. So here the good and the pleasant are both open to man. A wise person prefers the good after closely examining the two and weighing their merits and demerits. A short-sighted person, however, prefers the present, for he is only concerned with increasing and preserving the physical comforts. The physical needs are there, and that should be followed up, but to not make that as the goal of life. So these two choices approach in everyone's life. This is the condition. The intelligent people separate out these things, accept what is good and permanent, reject that which is impermanent. And those who are alpa buddhi, those whose understanding is little, they accept what is immediate and pleasant and reject what is permanent. So this is the situation comes. The difference between two categories of people mentioned earlier is further explained. One category prefers moral and spiritual growth, shreyas, the good. It is called the good because there is no doubt that it is the good ultimately. The path to good is not always easy. Of course, it is not easy. It is beset with hazards and hardships. But discriminating people prefers this path, for it is ultimately rewarding. It is the path that leads to the moral perfection, and nothing is greater than that. No price is too high to pay for the moral perfection. He is only speaking moral perfection, but we can go a little further, spiritual enlightenment. Moral perfection is, of course, necessary, but highest shreyas will be only self-realization, knowing who we are, or our devotion to God in a dualistic language. The other group of people are more content with the sense pleasure, that which is immediate and more attractive to them. Sense pleasure is immediate, moral perfection is remote. They cannot wait for the remote, and they are also not sure that the remote really exists and that it is that good. Therefore, they rush to enjoy sense pleasures which are immediate and palpable. Sense pleasure is indicating reckless sense pleasure. It is not talking to the people who are following moral path. There is a way of living in Hindu society has been designed like that. Garastha, Vanaprastha. This is called ashrama. It's a great dharma. So following that dharma, they are not indicated here. But those who are recklessly running for, obsessed with all these things, here is the point. They cannot expect higher wisdom and experience in life. And now, what is the condition? Yeah, that this Shreyas path is always little harder. Because it is, that's why it's called walking on the razor's edge. It is also said that it is swimming against the current. The whole tendency of the people flowing in this direction. And you try to accept what is ultimate good, then means you are not following the flow of the thought current of the people, not the pattern, the way they think and do, act, not following that. So it is really difficult because that's why it is a lone journey. In spiritual life, that's why it's a lone journey. We may be together, but you have to have your inner struggle. What comes in the mind, you have to handle that alone. We may get some help from outside, by our friends, by this type of discussion, reading the Upanishads and Gita and Bhagavad and talking to good spiritual friends. This may help, but journey is internal. We are born with so much of our old samskaras, no? When it comes, you will have to fight it. It is people sometimes think that it is that even failure is a success, because people do not know that there is a higher life, and this struggle leads us to the higher life. But it is not to understand that the rishis are decrying the need of this experience. Yes, rishis are householders. All these people, who is Nachiketa's guru? Jama. Who is Jama? You see, we heard Joma was out of home when Nachiketa approached, and all the female members and the mothers and whoever there treated them, Nachiketa, come, come, my child, eat and sleep. But no, no, I am not. She's a householder. See? And he is giving the Brahmagyan. So it is not an obstacle. Only question is that how to raise the consciousness from one level to other level through some experience. So don't think it is only for the monks. That's my point. Never make a mistake like that. It is a question, yes, you will be monk inside. How? When you really understand that, and then mental renunciation comes, things will be around, but you are not affected by that. No? And monks have chosen that path to practice that. Not they are successful. If they are successful, then all would have flocked around him. No? You have realized soul, Brahmagyani, then bees will come around you. No? But we are all struggling. That's okay. Question is that to understand this philosophy of life, it is Raja says, Shurasya Dhara, Upanishad says, Nishita, Durattaya, Durgam Pathastat, Kabayo Vadanti. The Kobis means? No, here poets means the seers of truth. Kabayo, the seers of truth have described this, that the spiritual path is like walking on the razor's path, and the razor is just serpent. Just serpent means very, very tough. You have to put your steps, every step very carefully, lest you get hurt. Huh? But if you cross it, and there is a joy in every step of this journey. You know, spiritual life is not dull. It is not a pensive thing that it should be sour face. Where there is sour face, it is no spirituality. But spiritual life, those who are practicing, you see that something is there extra in their faces. They manifest because it is joy. If God is joy, and you meditate and you pray and you try to reach that, to how you will be sour then? If there is some expression, there is something wrong in between. So that analysis is to be done, and that's why we keep some role models before us. And all these photographs we keep, they are our role models. You see, Buddha, Christ, Rama, Krishna, Sri Chaitanya, and all the saints of every religion, they are role models before us, standing before us. Yeah, they are there, and they have reached this, and we can also do that. So, but to select this path is our own, and to hold on, it needs courage, it needs strength. There are many obstacles. And now, Nachiketa is being praised by his teacher. The verse number 3 on page 51 probably, or 50 you can say. Sattvam priyan priyorupanscha kaman. Sattvam priyan priyorupanscha kaman. Ovidhyayan nachiketo atyasrakshi. Ovidhyayan nachiketo atyasrakshi. Naitang srinkang vittamayim avapto. Naitang srinkang vittamayim avapto. Yasyang majjanti bahavo manushaha. Yasyang majjanti bahavo manushaha. Beautiful. Says, Sa, O Nachiketa, Sa Tvam, you, such a great person, Sa Tvam, that you, Priyan, Priyurupangshu Kaman, many things I have presented before you, which are very alluring, very tempting. And people crave for these things. So, but you, though I have tempted against all these things, Priyan, which is near and dear to everyone, and Priyo Rupan, its Rupa, its form is so attractive. I have given you life, eternal life. I have given you singing, dancing girls and could go for life, eternal. You can enjoy in the heaven. You can be the emperor of the world. All these temptations I have given. It's very attractive and alluring also. So, and Priyorupan, I have given such objects. With Dhyan, but you are very intelligent. You have actually measured it or weighed it. Eh? Which shall I take? This is good or that is good. You might have that great understanding. Though you are a young boy, it seems, but you are intelligent enough. So, weighing how useless they are, with dhyan, meditating and contemplating on these gifts which I have gave you, thinking it is so worthless in comparison to the infinite knowledge and infinite bliss. It is not that it is useless. People are craving to go to heaven, isn't it? To go to heaven, even they are attacking Twin Tower. And you, I gave you the kingdom, I gave you the heaven, but you don't care for that. You want something more than that. So what an intelligent boy you are. So your buddhi, your medha, your understanding, your clarity is so great. And all these priyorupan, kaman objects, vidhyayon, measuring or understanding that intelligently, attasakshi, you have the power to throw away, to reject totally. See, people can discriminate, no? See, we know about the people who once get into drug or drinking, no? Addiction. Once they understand, no, it is bad, they cannot come out so easily. Understand the point? Understanding is not enough. It needs more power, mental power and strength to hold on what I want, not to deviate from that. So people are struggling to go to a meeting and all these things. They are honest people, they are trying to get out. But it's difficult, very difficult. But you, Nachiketa, you are so powerful, you analyze those things and after that you totally abandoned them, rejected them. So, attasakshi, totally rejected them. Etam, Vittamaim, these are all wealth and prosperity and gold and jewel and everything. And Srinkam means the jewel and other things of the world. No avapta, you have not chosen them. Though it was offered to you, it was within your reach, you could have grabbed it, but you did not. Jasyam bahavo manusya majjanti, in which millions and millions of people get drowned into that type of temptation. When it is given, not temptation, that type of offer is given, someone. Ramakrishna said the example that God was pleased with a man and he asked, you can get one boon. So he thought, what one boon I can ask? Just if God comes before us and asks one boon, we ask whatever one boon I will give you. So we'll have different expectation, no? So that man thought, what can be one boon? How much things I can ask in one boon? So he asked that please bless me so that I can have a good sumptuous meal with my great grandson or something like that. And will be in a very golden plates. I will not eat with silver plate. I will not take bronze plates, but I will have golden plates, golden glass. So that means, see, man, he's asking in one boon, I will be a very rich person. I will have grandsons. That means my life will be prolonged. So in one boon he has expected so many things. So here it is that in one boon, though it was given to you all these things, but you abandoned them. Just mean, but jasyang majjanti, in which get drowned. Who? Bahavo Manusha. Many intelligent people, very bright people, they get stuck into it, no? And they get drowned into that abyss of that worldliness. Hmm? That's okay. So he says, "O Nachiketa, I have tempted you again and again, but you have rejected everything I offered. Near and dear ones did not tempt you, nor even pleasant things. You are intelligent enough to understand that all worldly things are useless. You rejected them outright. Most people, however, are steeped in worldly life because they find it pleasant." It's a little, we have taken the stretch of uh, meaning, but the thing is that you have rejected everything, but it is very difficult for any other person to give up. Uh, People get engrossed into it, and forget their goal, life's goal. And then there's nothing more. So it is actually praising the renunciation or the power of rejection uh, of Nachiketa. That means he is praising anyone, the power which one can gather to get out of the mundane and to accept. It needs strength, it needs mental strength, it needs mental power, it needs experience at the background. Those who have not experienced the life, they cannot renounce. What they will renounce? Renounce means you have something you can give up. So a beggar cannot renounce anything, no. So to renounce, one should have something, and then one can renounce. And that should not be Markata Vairagya. Markata Vairagya, Ramakrishna said that one man was really in distressed condition and could not find any job, getting frustrated. He just disappeared from home, and the whole family was crying and weeping and weeping. And then after 1 month, he became a monk, and he went to Benares, and he found ultimately with much trouble one job. And then he sent a letter that I'm coming back soon. I got a job and I have some money. So that is called the momentary uh, touch of renunciation, but that stays for short period. It is like water in the frying pan. He puts little sparkle some water, yeah, it goes away. But renunciation, which based on analysis and understanding the permanent and impermanent, that gets settled because you know, you are willfully analyzing that you rejected that. Now the next verse, fourth verse, is 52. Duram ete viparite vishuchi. Duram ete viparite vishuchi. Avidyaya cha vidyeti yeta. Avidyaya cha vidyeti jnata. Vidyavipshinam nachiketasam manne. Vidyavipsitam nachiketasam manne. Natvam kama bahavo lolupanta. Natva kama bahavo lolupanta. Duram ete viparite visuchi. Duram ya vidya. Vidya means what is called knowledge and what is called ignorance. These are the two objects of our study. It's called avidya or vidya. Avidya is ignorance and vidya is knowledge. They are far different. One is light, one is darkness. They don't go along. So duram, Ete, these two, Vidya, Avidya. So what is Vidya? That means which leads to wisdom and knowledge. And Avidya, which makes us forget about our divinity and our pure nature and leads us to the bondage, path of bondage and trouble. So this duram, from a far distance you have separated out. Viparite Visuchi. It takes two directions. They are different and they are different purpose. One purpose is to think the world is everything true and what the world can give, that is our ultimate goal. And another path is that no, this world cannot give me the joy, the peace I am expecting. I have to search somewhere else. Not here, somewhere else. So these are two different attitudes, two different approaches, two different purposes to have. They are far away and separate. Huh? And they are two different. And O Nachiketa, Avidya, Vidya, so two things. One Vidya, which is leading to knowledge, and one is Avidya, which leading to darkness and ignorance. In between these two, Vidya Avipshinam, I think that you have chosen the path of Vidya, the wisdom, the knowledge, and you are craving for that Vidya. And you are right student to absorb this Vidya, wisdom. Natva Kama, you are not overwhelmed by the Kama, the temptations or the object I have. Bahavo Lolupanta. It has been in many people who get tempted by these things, but you are not moved by these offerings. That means you are following the path of Vidya. Ramakrishna said, Vidyamaya, Avidyamaya. No? What is Vidyamaya? Vidyamaya that leads us gradually to the truth. Avidyamaya that makes us forget about God and makes us engage into day-to-day life and its duties. And people say, where is my time? When can I do? I have nothing. I have so much time. I don't get any time for God meditation or prayer. So that type of argument will come. That is the impact of the avidya. But when the vidya takes position, it will give a new outlook. We read this in the Gita class. That every action, every thought, what you are doing, you are serving the divine, serving the divine. You need not have to go. That outlook will change. That is the vidya. It is like throwing some light on any object. So if it is permeated by the divine, if there is nothing but Brahman everywhere, and then Brahman plus name and form, forget the name and form, though you are interacting through the name and form, but it is only Brahman, then what are you doing whole day? You are only serving God. Not knowing even you are serving God. Why not do it with knowledge? So this is the point, that you are following the path of Vidya and you are not trying to drown yourself in ignorance, further ignorance, to spend your time and energy in those areas. If you have any question, you can also ask in between. That will be more. Yes.
Since you brought up the Jesus one, I just flashed on then if everyone is God, so Arjuna has to go and kill God. How does he think about that?
So no one is killing, that's why. But in the relative,
He's doing harm.
yeah, but
that form that God is
that is the service. It is a service, no? Doctors are taking a patient and cutting the ribs and doing all these things, this operation. Is it not hurting the patient? What a cruel doctor is taking a scissor and cutting and then replacing this tube with that and this bleeding and giving extra blood, this, that. It is not a dangerous thing, but it's for the good of the patient, is it not?
Yeah, but the soldiers.
So soldier, that's as evil. The fight was right against wrong. There is a material aspect of it.
But is he to see that he is?
Yeah, you will have to see. That's why the Gita ends with that 18th chapter we are reading. There is very beautiful verse we came across. It says, Yatah pravittir bhutani, from which all the pravittis, all the wishes and desires are pumping up, and all the forms and names have come out. Swakarmana tamabharcha, by your own karma, you adore and worship that. There is only one reality, because it comes from that. There cannot be any other. Any other thing you see is in a name and form. So you, by your work, you are a teacher, you are a mother, you are a father, you are a son, you are a daughter, you are in any field of life. It is you are serving. So Arjuna is a warrior. He was a king, and he has to fight for justice in the relative plane. So it's all we are talking in the relative plane. So relative plane, even you are interacting in relative plane with whom? Like a doctor making the surgery and doing this for the good of the patient. And no one blames a doctor because he is cutting the say heart operation, lungs operation. So all these terrible things doctors are doing, but we appreciate the doctor because
trying to keep you alive. The soldiers.
that's a life means here serving the patient who is in the form of a patient, who is inside. Service to that who is inside. And who is inside, first we say, it is not that he is sitting in someone tiny thing, sitting somewhere like a chips. And nowadays, Google chips, putting here and there, and then you see things different. It's not like that. First we say it is sitting in the heart, but means it is inside and outside everywhere. But at least as consciousness, it is driving me. So that driving force we are talking about. If we think, look at the ocean. This is the best example we can get it. If we look at the ocean, all the waves, varied expressions of the ocean, no? The big wave fighting with small wave and killing the small wave and rolling over it. Someone is embracing with love. You can say you can do think so many things in the standing on the beach, no? But you are seeing nothing but the play of what? Ocean or water. So it is all divine. And you are a wave there. And all waves, we are all waves. All interaction is wave to wave. It is nothing but the one consciousness. So if we understand, not that I can, this is first intellectual understanding, that's what I'm talking about. If you understand that intellectually, then you can take a course, recourse, which will lead to that ultimate knowledge. Okay. So the fourth verse, then the translation goes like that. Vidya and avidya. So they have translated secular learning and spiritual learning. Vidya, avidya are at the opposite ends of the pole. They are different and they have different purposes. This is well known. Nachiketa, I have found you intent on spiritual learning. I have tested you by offering you all kinds of attractive objects, but you have not shown the least interest in them. Literally, Vidya means knowledge, Avidya means ignorance, and the knowledge here means the self-knowledge, that knowledge which leads to perfection, which liberates a person, and which also gives him peace and happiness, the highest of good. You get this knowledge by practicing discrimination, self-control. But avidya is just the opposite. You do not discriminate, you have no self-control, you run after sense pleasures, always driven by desires. You may be a learned person, but your learning is only for pleasure and you have no wisdom. So pleasure and learning is learning and wisdom is different. Learning and wisdom. Yama is again praising Nachiketa. This is only to emphasize the importance of renunciation. What Yama says is that you cannot worship both God and Mammon at the same time. If you want sense pleasures, you cannot have the joy of the communion with God. With God. See, spiritual joy and physical joy are two different things. If you want one, you have to give up the other. If you crave for the money, name, fame, comforts, political power, high social standing, and things of all sort, that means you are not interested in the pure joy of the company of God. You are following avidya, the path of enjoyment. Vidya, path of renunciation, is a rather harder path, and it does not suit you. So this is the point. That means, how do you, someone may put the question, oh my God, you are saying all these political efforts, these, that are all under avidya. Yes, it is under avidya. Maybe in a higher level. No? Lower level avidya is me, mine, eh? My selfishness, my uh, yearning for, craving for money, wealth, prosperity, this, that, at the exclusion of all. But you can think of the society, you can think of the country, it's a much higher, higher, higher. Still, it is within the realm of avidya. Ramakrishna said, no, if God comes, will you ask him for some school, college, and hospital? Huh? But all will ask for God. Yes, it is contradictory, School, college, hospital, yes, good, is it not? Yes, good up to certain standard. If you rise your consciousness into something higher, you see, Ari, this is God's world. Who will help whom? But if I say so now, that means I am a skeptic and I want to avoid. I am a liar. I need my help. Huh? When I am sick, I need a doctor. But when you see, it is Maya. Okay. This type of argument is really, really detrimental. Understand the point? Though it is said that hospital dispensary is not to be wanted, not for the beginner. Beginners should have to sacrifices for the good. Do selfless work. Go to create dispensary hospital. And then go higher and higher. And then you see that you have done enough. What can you do? 7 billion people, you make a hospital. Okay, you think you have done big job. What is that? No. I will start a new organization and give a spiritual boosting. Okay, do. How many people? 10, 20, 100, 1,000, 2,000? What else? In the vast mass of the population, what it means for anything. Then you understand, oh, no, God's will is there. There's a higher power there. So you then pray to that power. After understanding this part, then your understanding goes higher. And Ramakrishna is talking from that plane. Many people may misunderstand this contradictory statement. No, that's why when Swami Vivekananda started this organization, many of his even brother monks doubted what Norin is doing, what Vivekananda is doing. He went to the West and brought this idea of organization and secretary, president, this, that, business, running school, college, orphanage. What is this? Ramakrishna didn't say this. But yes, Ramakrishna didn't say for that category of people. To go to that grade, we have to start where we are. Start, forget your selfishness first. Think of others more. We are all those people who suffer from aches and pains, headache and this and that. Solution is that go to help others. You will forget that you have a headache. You will forget that you have some pain and aches and pains. If you think of others, then you will forget about yourself. And that is necessary towards the beginning. And then you go on helping. Then you understand, what can I do? World is so big. Then you take refuge in God and do the best you can, but you become more absorbed in the thought of the divine. So stages are there. What is the time? Done? Another 28. Okay. Now, next verse 5. अविद्यायामन्तरे वर्तमानाः अविद्यायाम् अन्तरे वर्तमानाः स्वयं धीराः Panditam manyamanaha Swayam dhira Panditam manyamanaha Dandramyo mana Pariyanti mudha Dandramyo mana Pariyanti mudha Andhe naiva niyamana yathandha Andhe naiva niyamana yathandha Avidyayam antare vartamana keeping ignorance in the heart, totally filled with that ignorance. Vartamana Swayam Dhira Panditam Mannamana. They think themselves, Lord, I am a Pandit. Pandit means I am a man of wisdom. Keeping all ignorance hidden in your heart, people think that I am a great Pandit. Pandit also have a different meaning. Panda. Panda means man of wisdom. Wisdom. So they Panditam Mannamana. They think that I am a Pandit. I think I am a Pandit. Pandit means a man of wisdom. I am a man. I understand everything. Huh? So, but keeping the ignorance totally embedded in the heart, people sometimes think that I am Pandit. Dandramamana parijanti mudha. They are mudha. They are fools. Those who going through all these manners of vicissitudes, they parijanti go round and round like andhena eva niyamana jasandha. As a blind leading the blind. So they go round and round because they are not illumined. They have no renunciation. They have no discrimination. Without that, some scholar, that is just scolding the scholars. Those who only live on intellectual level and not practice. That is, even Shankaracharya said that these are all called the all Shabdajari, Bhagvaikari, Shabdajari, Shastra Vyakhanu Kaushalam. These are Tadbad Bhuktaye, Natu Muktaye. Shankaracharya himself says, talking big things, quoting big scriptures, and flowery language, control over your words and vocabulary. You can charm people and you can have your fun. Say, I have understood. No, it is for your intellectual pleasure. Not to mukta, it will not give you liberation. So we have to fight for the ignorance. So he says that people in the world, keeping the ignorance in their heart totally, they think that they are all pandits and they want to guide people. And their guidance turns into that type of thing, that a blind person guiding another blind, what happens? Yatha, there are another area is there, Yatha andhakupe bhavanti, patanti, just like a well, a deep well, they suddenly fall. The guru falls into the deep well, and the chela also falls over him. He gets a double injury. So that happens with these people who are not careful about removing the ignorance. So those who are steeped in worldly pleasure or ignorance, he has explained that way, think they are intelligent and they know the scriptures well. They are like blind people being led by another blind person. They go round and round, always pursued by sorrow. So that he's talking about misery of the worldly people is that such people follow the path of avidya or ignorance, the path earlier described as pleasant and which is opposite to the good. They also think in terms of sense pleasures and are occupied with their material possessions as if that is all in life. They are fools, but they think they are very clever. They are ignorant, but they think they are learned, that they know the scriptures. They are in fact grope in darkness like blind people led by another blind. How much they suffer, death, disease, poverty, misfortune, all this stalk them at every step. Their journey through the world is full of hazards. The irony is that they still prefer it. And look at that, those who are ignorant in the world, they are lying every day, getting to the sufferings of life. There is, it is like Ramakrishna gave the example that they prefer to stay here, like the example of the camel eating the thorny bruise. It is bleeding and is tasting his own blood, thinking, wow, it is so tasteful. But one day they understand. Everyone awakens. It is nothing wrong, but it better to be awakened early. And Nachiketa, you are already awakened, so that's why you are so bright and brilliant. Okay, thank you. Anything more? We should start like question answer a little bit. We can ask 10-15 minutes early. We can end. Then we can go for a little question. That will be better.
It's one of the most beautiful stories in the Buddhism.
It is a wonderful story. It is inspirational also. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So you have this book probably. If you don't have, there is a small book also available. Only the Kathopanishad with the original and the word by word meaning and the translation. Very small book, Swami Sarvadevananda. That is also good if you can collect. Thank you. That is a small group.